And here we go. Quote on the screen this morning says, practice the philosophy of continuous improvement. Get a little better every single day. If you notice the way that they've drawn this up, I like it because I've seen this same image. However, the stairs reach a certain level and then it just plateaus. It goes straight across. And in our business and in our lives, we should always be looking to improve. Agreed? So you see here that the chalk is not put down, the stairs are not complete, and the gentleman is continuing his climb. As we also should always be continuing our climb, specifically talking about real estate and our business in real estate. So today we're going to be talking about how we can improve. And I'd like to, in this open forum that we're conducting today, I'm going to need feedback. I'm going to need you to put on your thinking caps and to maybe even think outside of the box that we've always maybe been in for some time. We conducted a survey back in, and we're gonna drop this out of here real quick, and I'm gonna share with you all the survey that we conducted. There we go. You should be able to see my screen. Oh, buddy. There it is. Let's try that again for you. There we go. All right. So we conducted a survey. You should be able to see on the screen now where it says C21 or C21 Preferred training, correct? Everybody can see that on your screens. Yes, no, maybe. I hope so. No one's speaking to me in the chat over there. But I hope that you can see, you should be able to see this screen right here. Yes, all righty, we got a confirmation that you can see our screen. So here is a survey that we actually conducted back in October of last year. And you'll see some of the questions that we asked the agents. It says here, what will be most beneficial to you as far as training goes? We talked about negotiation tactics, disclosures and zip forms, CRM, the MLS, marketing and prospecting, business organization and structure, and then other. And then we asked the agents to go through and to pick those as the ones that were most important to themselves. And then from that, we got 33 responses from our 130 plus agents. So pretty good. We did pretty good there for responses. And so, of course, maybe you have seen some of these responses as we had talked about them in the past. I don't want the agents. What happened, guys? Here we go. Our summary. I'm sorry. I want to see our summary. Here we go. So here's a summary of what the agents were saying. We had the largest percentage was 27%, and that was on, you'll see this the color right here. This was marketing and prospecting. So agents were highly, or rather it was highly important to agents in our office to emphasize training on marketing and prospecting. What is that? That's how we're going to, of course, get business, all right? One of the other highlights that we talked about was the next one I want to go to was negotiation tactics. That's 24%. So just half of what we do in business, the agents were saying we want to know how to get better business, how to market it, and then how to, of course, negotiate that business that we have. And then the next one was, of course, disclosures and zip forms. All the documentation that we have that we use, how do we better know that information to be able to explain it to our customers, our clients, or buyers and sellers. So this is the survey that was conducted, and this is the feedback that we received. All right. So today we're looking at, where we have come from. This was almost a year ago. We're writing the calendar for the third quarter, starting July, August, September. What is training going to look like here at C21 Preferred? And what do you need as an agent to be best equipped when you go out into the marketplace. So, you know, also what we've provided for you all is our YouTube channel. We've got 30 subscribers to our YouTube channel. We hope you're taking advantage of what is there. As well, you can anytime go back and look at the past trainings that we've had and refresh yourself on any of those topics that are covered there. I think there's like, I don't know, 13 videos maybe up now. It continues to grow every week as we continue these recordings. So I want to hear from you, and I want to know what is the best thing about C21 Preferred's training for you. And it can't be me. So I know people like me, but that's okay. I'm not interested. I'm here to be liked.
I was going to say David.
What's that?
I was going to say you.
No, I put that down here. I don't want you guys, blowing up my head. It's big enough already, right? But I want to know from you agents, what is the best thing for C21's training for you right now? What's the best thing that they have to offer? And don't worry, I'll be patient because I need feedback. All right? Anne-Marie, what is the best thing about C21 Preferred's training for yourself? Oh, she wrote it. She's not talking to us. It says here, you are consistent and set the bar high. I strive to be dedicated with follow up. All right, so what Anne-Marie says that she likes or is really valuable to her for our training is the consistency. So we'll definitely take a note there is consistency. We need that. In order for us to grow, we have to be consistent. You know, we can go out and we can work for maybe a month or 2 or 3, but if we taper off, our business will never grow, right? Our training is much the same. We have to continuously improve as we saw the steps that we're taking in the quote and the image that was shared here in the beginning. All right, so I'm going to pick on Nara next. Nara, what is the best thing for C21's training that you find beneficial for yourself? What do you got, Nara?
I'd like that I'm working with the mentor, Linda Rubio.
All right.
And then last week when you did the training, I was comparing my notes with your training, and then I did a lot of notes on the paper, so I'm learning a lot.
Awesome. So I see here, one of the things she mentioned was the mentorship. So that is something that we can even do more of. You know, Nara's got a mentor, and so I'd love to take that back to, of course, the team as to maybe we can do more with mentorship. Speaking about mentorship, now I know that there is some programs out there, and coaching, you know, can kind of fall somewhere along the lines of that mentoring. You know, is coaching something that would be beneficial to you as agents? Now I know coaching is quite expensive. If you look at maybe any of the Tom Ferrys, the Brian Buffinis, and some of these others, you know, you can pay anywhere from, you know, $500 up to, you know, $300 to $500 a month just to be able to have a half an hour conversation with someone once or maybe bi-monthly, twice a month. Would coaching be something that would interest any of you as agents? If C21 had something like that, it says one-to-one helps so much. So the one-to-ones are great. We see there as well. Anne-Marie is sharing with us. So is that something, again, in regards to the coaching? Anyone else? Any thoughts or comments on coaching? What we got here? Who else is in my room? We got Amber here as well. Amber, any thoughts from you in regards to maybe what we're doing well here at C21 as far as training is concerned that you find most beneficial? All right. Amber may be just listening in. I know that she is, of course, managing over there in Lake Elsinore. So we're talking about what we're doing really well, all right? We talked about consistency, the mentorship, the one-to-one. You know, coaching is something that maybe we can dive into in the future. Topics are always current with what is happening in the market. All right, so we have current content. Genius Bar is a great idea, but didn't have the opportunity to do it. So, all right, so we have current topics. We've got Genius Bar. All right. With the one-to-one, with the Genius Bar, would you like to see more opportunities for that? I know that we only offer it probably like once a quarter is kind of how we bring that one out. There's typically only 4 or 5 slots that are available, and then they go away, and then we don't offer it again for a little while. Would you like to see, I'd like to sign up for a session, is what Nara was saying. So I guess what I'm hearing is we would appreciate also more of that, more of the opportunity to have one-to-ones. All right. Yes. All righty. Fantastic. So more of that one there. Very good. All right. So again, we've talked about, some of the great things that Century 21 is providing. Now, this is when it gets good, right? This is probably my favorite part of any portion of something we look at, we mastermind, we start breaking things apart, is how we can better improve. That would be if there's one or something that's missing in our training that you need for your business, what is it? We're just going to ask the question again as you start to process. What if there's one thing that is missing in training that you need for your business, what is it? And I think what Anne-Marie is saying right here, her next comment, we're going to go right into that. She says, what if we met once a week with a mentor that could hold us accountable for assignments? So again, that's getting back to that coaching type there. So asking for accountability partners, right? Accountability partners / mentors. I see here that we're talking about the listing presentation. As well. That's something, and I'm glad that you brought up that listing presentation. Of course, you all are independent contractors, so there's no one here who is really your boss. However, I think that it might be beneficial for those who, of course, are interested in always growing their business, that we check each other. Maybe if we had a listing presentation challenge, maybe, so to speak, and we could, those agents who are ready to bring forth their listing presentations, they could, bring it out and challenge one agent or another agent. Agents could come in and see how they're presenting, and then maybe glean from that on how they also can improve on their own listing presentation. Maybe a caveat to making that work was, if you tune into, to watch the other agents, you have to produce your own listing presentation within a certain amount of time. Something like that. Make it fun and exciting for everyone so that we actually get engaged and do it. Because the one thing that happens with, looks like Anne-Marie is agreeing with us right there. The one thing that tends to happen, when we come to a training, even to something like this, is we hash out these ideas or we learn something new, but the problem tends to sometimes be the implementation. Going back to what Anne-Marie's saying, is that accountability. Okay, I learned this thing, how do I implement it or put it to practice into my business? So we're taking those notes on that, as well as implementation. Nara says, maybe we can have a topic with our mentor and then talk about it as a group. So we have group mentor, we have a new page, no worries. We've got the mentor again, and then taking that back to groups as well, taking it back to groups as well. Very good. The mentor, I see that the mentor is something that, what's been one of the most beneficial things for you, Nara, with your mentor? I know that you're working specifically with someone. What's been one of the really beneficial things for you as far as that mentorship as a new agent?
I'm learning a few tips from her, and I know she has a lot of experience, so a lot of things that you don't see at school, like she's teaching me. And then also what I meant when I said the topic with the mentor, because I talked to Linda and we went through the form that you did last week. And we didn't know you were gonna present it, but I went through it and then she was giving me like what to put for escrow and all this stuff. And then when you did it, it made a lot of sense. So that's what I meant when I said do it with your mentor and then as a group, because when you did it, I'm like, oh, okay, I got it. Oh, yeah. So.
Fantastic. Again, what you're saying is a great point. Is, you know, you sat down with your mentor and you went over this, the offer, the RPA, and then you came back to a group setting and you went over it again. So what I hear there also is, you know, us going over what we've done one time, a second or a third time to refresh it and to solidify it into our minds as to how we use these tools and these listing offers that we have, RPAs, RLAs, and so forth, so that we're competent in explaining them to our clients. Because, you know, it's interesting, you know, we have these trainings and, you know, I found myself also guilty of this. You know, you first start in real estate and you don't know anything. So you've taken your exam, you come and you get your license and you're ready to go sell homes. And of course you come to trainings in the beginning because you don't know anything. But we get to a point where we kind of feel like, I know enough that I don't need to come to trainings anymore. You know, I've been there in that same boat myself. So, you know, I don't point the finger at anyone, but we can continue to improve. And something to notate as well, we don't know if we see any really like senior agents on the call this morning, but the insight that someone can have who's been in the industry for some time is beneficial to those who haven't. So having that conversation, that feedback can help them. And we all grow together. There's never gonna come a point where you know everything. You know, I just recently had the sale out there in Compton. We talked about, we had to do this pre-sale. Awesome, Felipe's here and he's listening. Very good, thank you so much for sharing that, Rebecca. You know, we had to do this pre-sale inspection. I had never even heard of a pre-sale inspection, didn't know what it entailed. So it was a learning experience for myself and for my client, and even the agent on the other side didn't even have any experience with it. So, you know, that's something to just keep in mind as we're all growing, that these trainings are here to help each other grow. At one point, you may not be here to learn. You may be here to share with someone else so that they can grow or they can learn from experience that you had. If we don't share those experiences, you know, then we can't actually help others to grow in that process as well. It says here, Ganara says, I guess this can call it hands-on. So hands-on. You know, it's interesting that you bring that up, the hands-on, because I know we're in this point now where everything is digitized. We're in a conference call, we're in our respective places, and we're not around the table together. And I think that that's critical for us as we continue to grow in business, is sitting together and really thinking these things out, having that conversation and exchanging ideas. Because that's where we grow. You know, when we went to the 121 event there in LA back in February, I was blown away as I was sitting in a room of just agents and trainers who had so much more knowledge than I had, and experience than I had, and they were just sharing that, and we were putting together ideas of how we could improve upon everything that we were doing. So then that's something that we can do as well, as far as training, is bringing you guys in some form, fashion of way. I don't know, you know, with the whole COVID and how we'll get back to, you know, business as normal. What are your thoughts on, I'd like to bring this up. Again, we're masterminding. So I want you guys to throw anything out that you have, but as I'm talking, it's kind of how I operate, you know, things kind of come to my mind. You know, what are your thoughts on the learning experience digitally through the Zoom platform versus an in-person in the class, in the conference room as we had in the past experience? Like, kind of what's the difference there, pros and cons, if you can kind of share with me? Because again, we're looking to improve continually. Very quiet, I see. So what's been one what's been a benefit for the Zoom training versus the in-person training? Let's start there. Okay, let's kind of get our gears turning there. What's been a benefit for the Zoom training versus the in-person training thus far? Somebody throw something out. More attendance. Yep. Okay, very good there. I've definitely seen our attendance spike since we've gone to the online platform. Okay. I like the recordings because I can pause and take notes. You can check in anywhere. All right, so we love that. Recording on YouTube, very good. Okay, so then what are some of the negatives, okay? How can we improve on maybe this Zoom platform? You know, if this was the direction, let's use a hypothetical, if this was the direction that we were going in the future, and let's say everything was gonna be this format, how could we improve upon what we're currently doing in the Zoom room? All right, Anne-Marie says she misses seeing everyone. You got to turn on your camera, Anne-Marie. I'm here. I can't see you. Awesome, awesome. Task. What do you mean by that task? You said, Rebecca. What do you kind of expound on that for me? I guess she's maybe typing right now. It's Felipe. Assignments. Okay. So there's some, oh, look, Anne-Marie, there we go. Now we're seeing people. I'm loving it. Here we go. Assignments. So let's talk about that, because when we talk about assignments, if we give assignments, we've got to hold someone that's accountable. So let's just go ahead and talk about somewhere that we failed, okay? Because I'm always talking about how we failed, because if we look at where we failed, we can always improve. Maybe you all remember that we had a challenge 2 weeks ago. We had a training, and it was going to be for us to reach out to our sphere, whether it was text messages, we did Facebook, we did phone calls, emails, we did a bunch of things, right? And then I told everybody, I told you this, it didn't actually happen, but I told you this. I was like, I'm gonna follow up with everybody and make sure you did that, right? The note cards. I didn't follow up with anybody, right? Maybe no one held me accountable. They're like, oh, he didn't call me like to follow up, so that's great. I didn't do it, so there we go, right? Well, so that's something that we can talk about, is making that accountability a reality. All right, we're talking, because it says, I told you what happened to me. Anne-Marie, you did, but I didn't follow up. Like, if you hadn't told me, that I would have never known. Like, I assume people looked out and they talked to, you know, those in their sphere, but maybe they didn't. And we know that Anne-Marie, in reaching out, you know, she's able to pick up a listing because of that, that training that we had. So definitely some accountability. So something that I'm definitely going to emphasize on, that we'll emphasize on, is accountability, and then creating signs, or rather assignments and tasks for everybody, right? Because it's like this, you know, you go to school, and if the teacher tells you to read, you know, chapter 2 over the weekend, do you really read chapter 2 over the weekend? I mean, I didn't, right? So exactly, you don't read chapter 2 over the weekend. You come back and, you know, you kind of wing it, so to speak. We are in business, all right? And if we are attempting to wing our business, we will not be very successful. A lot of businesses tempted to wing their business, and we see businesses that are closing due to COVID-19. They did not have good business practices in place, which is why a lot of them are closing. All this has done really is expose poor business practice. Those who have solid business plans in place, they're thriving right now. Some are doing better than they were doing prior to the pandemic. Again, solid business plans. Of course, there's others that their services are just needed now because of the pandemic, so they're thriving, right? So we need solid business planning. How many of you were able to attend our business planning training? Now, we conducted this back, I want to say this was back in like maybe April, I think it was, business planning. Was anybody able to attend the business planning? It was a 3-day training. We talked about different spreadsheets and how you can keep track of all of your financials for your company, your goals for your company. Anybody was able to attend any of that? So Anne-Marie says she missed it. You know, this is actually a training that's provided through C21 University. And I want us to kind of look in that direction now, because there is a plethora of classes that are available to us as agents via the Century 21 University. Now we're going to bring that up real quick so that we can just kind of take a peek at it, because these are some classes that I want to teach us. One of them is Go List. This one here, I'm really trying to see if I can get on the calendar here pretty quick. But I want you all, if you haven't been here recently, let's go to the 21. Let's go to the university real quick. All right. I've got 12 things on my screen here, but don't worry. We'll figure this out. Oh, here's the key, guys. Do I know the password? I pray I do. Because if not, we won't be able to get there. Oh, it looks like we remember the password. This is the critical piece. Now we just need the internet to go a little faster, but there we go. We're going to look at the Century 21 University. They've actually put in a whole bunch of new trainings as well. So if you're not familiar with this, hopefully you are, but if you're not familiar with the Century 21 University, this is how you get to it. All right, it's 21 online. You go to the menu here. Sorry, I got too many things on my screen. I can't get down here. And you go down to the Learning Hub. All right, in that Learning Hub, you're going to scroll down and you're going to go to, sorry, I got to move these things out of my screen so I can see. Here we go, I can see now. I want you to see. There's a bunch here, but I want to take you up. Just, here we go. That's where I wanted to go. Visit the university now. All right. As independent contractors, remember that we are here to serve you at Century 21, but also we want you to take accountability and responsibility for your own business as well. So with these tools that have been provided, it would behoove you to spend some time on this site. All right. And looking through all that they have to offer. We've got all about listings. Is that something that we need right now? Is there a major shortage of listings? Absolutely. I've seen the numbers yesterday. They were down like 45% across the valley. Lynn, we're doing like half as many listings as there was last year this time. So listings, we can come here. There's strategies, pricing strategies that you need to know. There's courses on that. Finding more sellers. There's all about buyers. There's building the business here. This is one of the ones that we actually taught, was building the business. There's several more as you can continue to scroll through on the side of just all the content that is available here, as well as all about prospecting, the different ways that you can prospect. Again, you see the little tab here on the side. You can go through and just pick the class that you want. A lot of these classes are done virtually, and some of them are actually done through some live training as well. For those who need about recruiting, there's about leadership. If you want to just grow yourself as a professional, that's there as well. Of course, how to use Century 21's brand to grow your business. All of these courses right here are available to you 100% free of charge. So I would encourage you to take some time also and step out here. What I want to do is, again, there is the course here, and I was, I want to, it's all about listing. I believe it's in here. There should be one called, they've added a bunch of new ones. So let's see. Maybe all, it was called Go List. They've actually may have changed the name of it. So I'll have to double check, but we're going to be teaching that class, Go List. And these courses are awesome. They have workbooks that you can print out. Let's see here. Find sellers. More listings is great too. Type Go List into the search is what Felipe is telling me. All right, let's check it out. Got too many things on the screen. Let's see here. See if it'll find it for me. All right. And Let's accelerate. Open house from their couch. Didn't know that one existed. That's new. I don't see it here, so they've clearly made some changes. We'll have to double check that and see where it is. Oh no, there it is. There we go. I found it. It's on the next page. See, there's this course called Go List, right? And it's all about us going out and getting more listings. So this course here is something that I'm actually going to be previewing myself and bringing to you all to teach as well in this Go List, because right now, if any other time, we need to be out looking for a listing. You get a listing, you've got business. It's going to sell, all right? As long as it's even priced moderately correctly, right? So these are some of the tools, again, that are available to you through the Century 21 University. So take advantage of the free tools that are available to you there. All right? Very good. So when we're talking about, you know, our third quarter calendar, I want to hear from you. Again, that's the whole purpose of this mastermind, of us needing to just reading Felipe's comments. Go List is a great class. We need listings, summer listings contest, maybe. Look at that, summer listings contest. We've talked about a listing presentation. We've talked about now a listing contest for as many listings. So these are great ideas that I'm writing down. A listing contest, right? There we go. So that we can, so let's see, we're looking at, it is the 18th of June, right? 18th of June. And if I pull up my calendar here, I'm gonna have a meeting with Felipe tomorrow, but let's do this. You know, let's give everybody, you know, till like maybe July 31st is a Friday. So we had July 31st, and then that gives you a solid month, so we can see the number one. We have a first prize, a second prize, and maybe a third prize for the most listings, right? In that span of time, we could do another one, and for the month of August, to really just kind of spark us all there, take that one to August 31st as well, right? We could do that. And then of course, to help us all in this process, it says after your Go List class, whoever gets first listing, we will provide them with their own metal for sale sign. So here we go, we got sale sign after the class. Felipe's throwing in there. Thank you so much. Wonderful things here that we're coming up with in this discussion. So let's do that. You know, I'm writing this down. We'll do something for July. We'll do something for August. So what I'll do is we'll get the Go List on the calendar. I mean, quite possibly I can even get that started for us next week. I'm not sure how long that course is. I'll have to do some more research for us, so that by the beginning of July at the latest, because that gives us, even if it's a 2-course class, looking at a month, well, next Thursday is the 25th. So we'll have to try to find a way. Maybe we'll do a special training. If it's more, we'll throw one back on our Tuesdays to get it all in so that we can all complete the course on Go List. And then we can go out and be ready to, you know, to bring in that business. All right. So that's something that we can do. Is there anything else that maybe we can throw onto our calendar now as far as training is concerned? We've talked about this listing. Is there something else that you would like to see in our training in the next quarter? So we're talking about July, August, and September. What is going to help your business to grow? Let me know. Give me some feedback there. Everybody's little fingers are typing right now. All right. I see we got Claudia joined us. I didn't know you're here. Claudia, I want to hear from you. Ellen, I see you're here. I want to hear from you as well. Felipe says after, oh, I've seen that one already. That's an older comment. Wanting to hear from you all. Ellen, Claudia, haven't heard from you. What do you want? What do you want to see in this next quarter's training? We're talking July, August, September to help grow your business. What are you lacking? How can we assist you? Anne-Marie says, another first-time homebuyer seminar. So I haven't seen anyone actually conduct a first-time homebuyer seminar. I know there's been a lot of talk about them. I even had one on the calendar myself for this year, and then COVID shut that whole thing down. But let's do that. You know, let's have a class on how to conduct a first-time homebuyers seminar, right? Because now, you know, we can do these virtually, so it's very easy. I would say very easy, because the hardest part was maybe getting people to come out to a first-time homebuyer seminar, right? But now they can click a Zoom, and then boom, they're there. Says that would be a good one, the first-time homebuyer seminar. Ellen agrees with that as well. So thank you so much for that that comment, Anne-Marie. We will definitely put something. We'll put that on the calendar just as soon as we can to help you all. If you don't have a Zoom account, remember that these accounts are free. The free account allows you to have a 40-minute meeting, unlimited 40-minute meeting. That is more than enough time for you to go over what you need in a first-time homebuyer seminar, and then you can break out and have, you know, separate discussions later or separate meetings later with those same potential buyers. So definitely the first-time homebuyer one out there. You know, maybe there's a class, and we haven't talked about this, in regards to a home sellers seminar. Now, we talk about the home buyer seminar, you know, all the time, but with everything that has happened in, you know, with COVID, a home seller seminar now, because how do I sell my home in this market, right? Felipe's agreeing, we're going to get listings. So if you're broadcasting out there on social media, I'm getting really like, I don't know, getting all like, I don't know, tingly right now on this listing one. I'm excited, all right, because I don't know, the masterminds are great, and thank you guys so much for being here as these things are coming out. You know, we put on social media like, hey, help me educate you on how to sell your home during these times. I've got a free seminar. Please attend. Click the Zoom link. Boom. There you go. Now you've got people in your community saying, this is great. Now I know what I need to do to sell my home and to get it ready, and how I can market it in this new world that we're living in, you know, post or still in the current, you know, what do you call this? Coronavirus or pandemic, right? So we've got a home sellers seminar as well, all right? Home seller seminar, very good. Anything else out there that you guys want to see that you can use in your business to help it grow for July, August, and September? What can we do at Century 21 to help you? Ellen, we should also push through with the appreciation party with past clients, present and future clients, and ask them for feedback. Yes, it is so critical for us to reach out after, you know, we've had business with someone to continue to foster, or rather nurture, those relationships, all right? So definitely, if Felipe says after COVID, all right, have that conversation with your clients, see how comfortable they are or are not as far as like getting together and having that that get together. We can definitely talk about what that can look like, you know, in the world today, and how soon we can do something. That can we do virtual get-togethers? That's the question. Absolutely, you can do virtual get-togethers, and I highly encourage it. Again, if you don't have a Zoom account, they're free to sign up. Go make yourself one. You got 40-minute conversation or 40-minute meetings that you can have unlimited. And if you want to pay for it, I think I pay $15 a month or something like that. It's really cheap to be able to have unlimited meetings for unlimited. Well, it's not unlimited. The meetings only last 24 hours, as long as you can have a meeting. But I'm pretty sure no one sits in a meeting for 24 hours. It's kind of crazy, right? So definitely the virtual get-togethers is something. So you could do a client. Again, we're thinking outside the box, and thank you for bringing that up, Ellen. You could do a client appreciation party via Zoom. Like, it's not something that can't be done. You can send them something in their to their home, like drop off something, and then have a conversation there about what you dropped off and how much you know, you appreciate them. You can get feedback from them. Like we're having this little mastermind meeting right now. Your clients coming together and saying, you know, this is what Ellen did for me, and really appreciate this. And then as you're having that conversation, you know, that's going to trigger their minds to friends and family, maybe that they also, who maybe are looking to sell or to buy, once you get together. It shows the willingness of you to reach out, right? It says, can we do a pizza drop off at their home while doing a virtual get together, have it delivered? All these are great ideas. I mean, absolutely fantastic ideas, Ellen. And this is how we're going to succeed in this current crisis that we're going through now, is thinking outside of that box, right? Felipe says virtual party, you could do bingo. Those interested, you can send bingo cards. I mean, look at that, great idea, right? There it is, you know, there's prizes to be won. Everybody wants to participate in that. Say what? All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop off this card to your house. We're gonna have a meeting at X time, and boom, we're gonna have whatever the prize is gonna be in the winner. I'm gonna send that prize over too. So the client party is something that we can definitely put together. Client party, you know, via Zoom or whatever the platform is. So we can definitely talk about that right there. Boom, Felipe says, absolutely. So something else that we can bring together, we can put a training together on that and mastermind a little bit more of just ideas specifically on how we can reach out via these digital platforms now to bring our sphere of influence closer to us and let them see that, you know, we're still in business. Business is good in real estate, whether you're looking to buy or sell. You know, interest rates are fantastic, and, you know, inventory is super low. So I think, in my mind, I tell people all the time, it's a win-win for whoever you are, buyer or seller, just because of the current state of the economy that we're in. So fantastic there. Any other ideas? I know that we're fast running out of time. We've only got about 10 more minutes left for our training for today, our mastermind more. So it's not really a training. I'm learning from you all. I hope that you're learning from me as well. Any other ideas, anything else that we can put on our calendar for the third quarter, July, August, and September's trainings that are going to help benefit and grow your business? All right, everybody's little thinking wheels are on over there, trying to think, what can we do better? How can we improve, right? You know, it's interesting. It's I don't know how many of you do this, and I would encourage you to take some time. With those that I follow and mentor and coach me, is to take time to just think. You know, to take 10 minutes out of your day and just pause. And don't get caught up with all the work that you're doing, but think about like your business. You know, be creative. You know, I was, Felipe says, how to keep commissions at listings by offering value. Awesome, Felipe. We're going to write that one down. Keep commissions with value. We can definitely do a class on that, showing the value that we offer at C21. Your value proposition, you're never going to have a problem. At least I haven't, and I don't anticipate that I don't think any other agents who come with a solid value proposition have any problem getting full commission. When you show what you do and you're a professional, it stands out. I'll share this with you. Got a text just yesterday, all right? So I'm going to share this with you. This goes back to, let's see if I can find it, boom. All right. Agent texts me and says, how long have you been in business? If you don't mind me asking. We're in a contract together. They represent the buyer. I've got the seller on this one. And then, of course, I jokingly said, you know, about 25 years. But then I was like, no, I actually started about 5 years ago. What about yourself? And she says, wow, both Jorge, that's the buyer, and I thought much longer. It's definitely your professionalism. All right. When you show up, going back to what Felipe was talking about, when you show up as a professional, right, and you've got a great value proposition, you don't have a problem getting paid. But if you don't show up like a professional, you don't have any value that you're offering, who's going to pay for something with no value, right? So remember that when you sit down. Going back to our listing presentation, Felipe did a fantastic job yesterday, as well as Chris, with just sharing what a listing presentation should look like. And when you come and sit down to the table with your client, when you have something like that, you have no problem getting the listing. again, because you're showing value, you're showing that you're organized and that you're professional. So again, we will definitely spend more time on the whole listing side, on the listing presentations, something that maybe we can spend a training or two just kind of tweaking those and getting those together. I know that there are three agents right now that I've been working with to work on their listing presentation, make that 4 that I'm thinking of right off the top of my head that are working on listing presentation. If you don't have a listing presentation done right now, I would encourage you to get to work on that. All right, because when we tell you to go out and list, you got to have a listing presentation listed with, all right, because these may be people that you don't know. You know, friends and family, they just show up and like, hey guys, yeah, I'm a real estate agent. Like, oh yeah, we know you, list our house. What are you gonna do? Well, we don't really care. And, you know, boom, you just sell the house, whatever, right? But we're gonna need more than that. It says, I'm telling on myself. I'm telling on myself. What are you telling on yourself for, Anne-Marie? What's going on over there? She's typing fast on her keyboard there, so we're gonna wait for the rest to come in here in just a second. All right. I was sharing something, then I got sidetracked, and I don't know if I can get back to it. But if it comes to me, it will. It's just, I don't have a solid listing presentation. All right, so we're going to hold Anne-Marie accountable. All right, so Anne-Marie, I don't believe that it takes any of us more than 2 weeks to get together a solid listing presentation. That should be enough time. So because today is the 18th of, June, and so that gives you the 2nd. So 2 weeks gives you the 2nd of July. I'm going to write down the 2nd of July. Anne-Marie will have a listing presentation, right? And I'm going to hold her accountable. And if in a week, I'm going to follow up and say, where are you? And we're going to go from there. Felipe says, ask the group, has anyone recently been asked about what they do or how is the market? Maybe a class should be the elevator pitch again. Awesome. Does anybody answer that question? Have any of you been asked that question? How is the market?
I actually, I followed up with another client that I got a listing right before COVID happened. And then they put the listing on hold because they were going to move to Europe. And then, so that got put on hold. So yesterday I just had the courage to pick up the phone and like cold call them, you know, like I've texted them, I've emailed them, we've been in, you know, touch with one another, but like, I just picked up the phone to be like, hey, you know, how are you guys doing? And that was his question. At first he was like, well, you know, we're not going to leave now. And then he's like, well, how is the market doing? And then we got into a whole conversation about the low interest rate, how, you know, there's no inventory. And so they've decided that they want to keep that house as a B&B, which they've been using the upstairs for, but now they're looking at buying another house instead of selling their house. So it was because of what I learned from you guys and, you know, and that I was able to tell them what's going on with the market and kind of put their mind at ease that, you know, it's still a good time to buy. It's an even better time to sell, but, you know, this whole COVID thing has not affected the real estate market like some people, you know, have predicted. And thank God for that, you know? So yeah, that conversation just happened last night, like at 5. So.
That's an awesome story right there, and glad to see that you're reaching out. Felipe, with the answer to the question, you know, how's the market? Depends on, are you looking to buy, sell, or invest? That's always the first response I'd recommend you tell anybody, because that gives you an idea of where they are. But Anne-Marie did, of course, a fantastic job. She's been able to secure, looks like, another buyer here due to just making that phone call, having that conversation. And of course, business grows from there. I'm just going to kind of recap a little bit of what we've gone over so far. And you guys can kind of tell me if there's anything missing, anything we need to add to it. I'm going to take these notes, I'm going to compile them. We're going to sit down, we're going to create our 3rd quarter training calendar. I see that we're really interested in the mentoring portion of it, how we can continue to grow from one another. And then of course, those older, more seasoned agents, experience-wise in the industry. We want to see assignments and tasks and some accountability to that. Anne-Marie has already told them herself, so she's always been our guinea pig there to see that we're going to get a listing presentation from her by July 2nd. And I see that, that Nara's on the call. Nara, do you have a listing presentation?
I asked Chris his yesterday, so he gave it to me, so I'm kind of changing things, but I would like to get help.
Okay, so Nara, fantastic. We're going to put you on the list as well. We're going to hold you accountable because, of course, you know, that was, of course, made specific to Chris. So I know you're going to make some changes to it yourself, which is fantastic. But we want to make sure that by July 2nd, also, you have yours ready to go as well. So we're going to be following up with you, Nara. I know Claudia is already in production. We're meeting her, I think, on Monday to get hers going. And then Ellen, do you have, I mean, Ellen's been in business for a while, but Ellen, what about yourself? Do you have a solid listing presentation that you're currently using? Ellen got quiet on me. Quiet Ellen. All right, we'll have to follow back up with Ellen in regards to her. She's probably on the phone. Maybe so. She's out there maybe setting another listing appointment. Who knows? All right, but definitely you two young ladies, Nara and Anne-Marie, we're going to be following up with you. Felipe already said, you guys need help, feel free, come into the Temecula office. You know, Chris is here, Felipe's here. Reeling them in. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That's how we got to do it. We got to get you guys going. You know, again, our goal here at Century 21 is to make you all the most equipped agents in the industry. And so that's why we have these calls. We want to hear back from you. It's not just here, take this, take this, take this. It's, hey, you tell me, what do you need? And then we go back and we make sure that that's going to be able to help you to thrive in the business, because it's unfortunate. Agents tend to bounce around quite a bit. They go from one brokerage to the next brokerage, and they're trying to find that sweet spot, that perfect thing that's going to make it happen. And in reality, we'll tell you what it is. It's hard work and consistency, being organized in your business plan, and you'll thrive anywhere. And so we want to make sure that that's the environment that you're currently living in and being a part of, so that you have no reason to want to go somewhere else. It's difficult to start over, to get new business cards, to learn new systems and so forth, to learn what we already have for you, and then put it into practice, and you will excel beyond your wildest dreams. It's just a matter of just putting it into practice. Ellen says, sorry, can't hear me. And yes, I have a listing presentation ready. So Ellen says she's ready to rock and roll. So maybe she'll be one of our guinea pigs to go in maybe our challenge of who's got the best listing presentation, and maybe some kind of an award there or something of that nature. All right, finishing up on what we talked about in regards to that. So we just talked about the listing contest that I was talking about there. We're going to be looking at getting you all trained up on the Go list that Century 21 University provides as well. We talked about a first-time home buyer class, so we're going to talk about that, how you can conduct one of those virtually. We'll do a training on that. A home seller seminar, we may do that one first. I think that's going to be a solid one we're going to do some work on. It says, we have emailed. Yes, we emailed it, I thought. What's the question? Can we receive a copy of, we can, oh, this is from Chris's from yesterday. All right. So double check that, yes, from what they shared yesterday. If you didn't receive the email, reach out to Felipe or Amber. They're going to be able to get that for you. We talked about a client party via Zoom. We can do a training on that as well. Keeping your commission and your value proposition. And then, of course, how is the market, your elevator pitch, and how to answer that adequately as well as showing data. Whenever you say, you know, what's going on in the market, taking you guys maybe back to InfoSparks and showing us how we can utilize that to be able to share relevant, hyper-local data for what's going on in our market. Because, you know, the real estate market, you typically read on the your nightly news or whatever they say is going on, they're looking at a national market. Well, the national market is not painting a picture of where we live locally. You know, things to be doing, you know, not so well nationally, but in our local community, we going very well. All right, so that's something to keep in mind as well. Any other thoughts, any other feedback that we can take? I know we've kind of used up our hour of time here. It's 11:30. I hope you have found this time well spent, beneficial. What else can I put on the calendar for you guys coming up in the next quarter to help you succeed? Anne-Marie might be typing there. Somebody says, thanks, Adavi. Absolutely. That's what we're here for. Very good, very good. with that being said, if there's nothing else, again, thank you so much for your feedback, for coming out. Anne-Marie says she needed this. I needed it as well. Thank you so much, Anne-Marie, for being here. I've got my notes, so I'm going to go and put this into works for everyone. I want to see you guys succeed. I want to succeed. And together, we will do above and beyond even our wildest dreams. All right? So you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Go out there and get that business. The market's hot. I want to see you guys succeed. All right? Take care now.